Dan here, the speed shop. So we're jumping projects yet again. So I don't know, I kind of just angry at this one. Parts actually just show up for this. This made me angry too. Parts actually are done for that. So we're gonna work on this. Because parts are supposed to show up for this actually later, 2 days from now. So we're just kind of, you know, having a little bit of fun. I know we're kind of jumping all over the place, but that's hot rodding. So what I want to do on this thing is make it a little more kind of complete. A lot of people ask about this truck, and I don't know, I just kind of want to work on it for a couple days. I'm going to pull the motor. So as kind of time goes on, I thought we have a better motor over there in my mind. Motor's out of the Monte Carlo. This thing was fine. It's just some generic whatever. It did kind of run on the bench-ish, but that one we know ran, drove, transmission worked, all that stuff. Everything else here is just a miscellaneous thing. And ultimately the motor has to come out anyways because there's a cross member, like an old transmission cross member we have to kind of cut out. And then I got these kind of universally kind of side saddle motor mounts, which may not have been, I don't know, they'll work. But we have to get the cross member cut out, maybe cleaned up a little bit, pull this motor out, dump it on the floor, and then we get the other one in. And what I want to do is we'll have to set the motor in with some blocks and engine crane, all sorts of kind of screw around, and maybe get it tacked into place. And then we have to center it side to side, you know, put kind of like 3 degrees in it, of, you know, kind of angled downwards, backwards, I guess I should say. And I think I want to try and get the motor as far back as we possibly can, so we have all sorts of room for radiator and all that sort of stuff. But everything's going to come apart, cut that out, other motor transmission in, which will probably happen tomorrow. I'm not super motivated today. I just kind of want to get it all out and look at it a little bit, then I'll think on it. So I'll look at it. And then put the other one in, and really at that point, once the other motor goes in, we could probably put the fenders on, the core support, the inner fenders, like all the other stuff, just kind of fit it all and see what it's going to look like and kind of carry on from there. We took a vote on it between me and Danielle, and we're not painting anything. It's a tight budget here. You know, paint's expensive. So I think step one is we'll have to take the whole front kind of clip and all that sort of stuff, which is just kind of sitting here. Take that off. Motor trans in, because actually I ordered some rear end stuff and steering and brakes and all sorts of stuff for this thing. And it's a long weekend coming up, so I thought maybe I would work on this for the long weekend, or I don't know, maybe the Monte Carlo, or, oh yeah, Nomad, which is now a shelf. Anyways, let's get this torn apart and we'll see where we end up. Go. What do we got here?
Get another car. Get another workbench.
That's what it's there for. We're worried about the paint, Danielle? This is actually super handy. There's only 2 bolts holding this whole thing on. I kind of like this thing, but I kind of just like it being yard art. I don't even know if I want to ever drive it. Do you still want to drive this thing? You're kind of over it. Oh, you like it? I thought you'd given up on it. Oh. Gentle.
I have a vision.
What's your vision?
Just driving this around in a cowboy hat.
Who's wearing a cowboy hat?
Me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That sounds like a good time. I twisted my wrist or something today. Oh, really? I actually scratched shit up. No, not the original paint that someone put on. So yeah, you can kind of see, I don't know what this thing had for a motor in it before. We're actually not terrible. Like, it does have to go a little bit further back. So like distributor kind of, well, yeah, I don't know. But the big thing is it's sitting right on this kind of old goofy cross member. And I don't know if I should cut that all out. Yeah, it's too dark.
While I get it, hold this while I get a light.
Just turn the wildfire lights on.
Oh, right.
Any better?
Yeah.
Oh, that's way better actually. Yeah. So it's got that cross member. Everything's just kind of sitting on it. So I have to cut that out. I don't know. I think on this side there's like a little bracketry for. Yeah, the e-brake cable kind of runs through it. So I think I'm just going to kind of blindly cut it off and leave a couple inches on either side. Mostly out of laziness. But that'll allow the transmission and everything to kind of sink down because the motor's kind of stuck up high. And then I have these side saddle mounts. So they're on this already. And then there's like all this goodness. So it's got like a little rubber isolator. But basically this is gonna fit like inside the frame somehow. Probably like right there. And that'll support it. So I got the one that's drilled in for bolts, but we'll probably just weld it. Why bolt it when you can weld it? That's what Whale and Wire always says. So, and he's clearly older than I am, so he must know, right? So let's get the crane out. We'll jostle this motor out right quick.
I don't think we've ever worked on a motor like in this, like pulled it this way. We're always right against the garage.
You want to spin it around real quick?
No, I'm just mean this makes way more sense to do it on this side.
I've for sure done it this way a bunch of times. Pretty sure, 7% chance I did this. Got a bunch of junk on this.
I will say we did put it in this way.
What? Oh, this thing is gonna be in my way though now, I bet. Is that gonna go? Oh, just barely. Lowered vehicles, who'd have thought? Actually, we have all new, I got kingpins, we got brakes, we got all sorts of stuff. Disc brakes for the front, that'll be cool. And then, yeah, this thing should actually come together pretty quick. I'm pretty excited about it. Oh, yeah, it needs a little bit of love down there, but
Do we have to roll it forward a bit?
we can.
Because the crane is for sure not gonna reach.
It's got Extendo 5000 on it. With the transmission for ballast on the back. Remember? Safety. Actually, it'll be no big deal now because it just has to come up and out. It'll be super easy with no fenders or anything on it.
Oh yeah, maybe we don't have to tilt it or nothing.
No tilt in my game.
Don't I know it?
It's just, you know what? Okay, let's get this set up. Dokily. What did I do here? There's a ratchet strap on it, which makes me think we needed that for some tilting action, but since, oh, a wrench.
This extension is zipped by supplies approved.
It is, yeah. It's mint. Oh, there's a block of wood there, darling. So, we had this thing running, right? This motor, I think? Yeah.
Wasn't this the captain's motor?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so this thing was fine, but it's, I don't know. Let's put something different on just for fun. So, motor kind of has to come out anyways. Got a block on this thing?
There's a block.
What's that?
I said I hope there's a block.
I think there is.
Yes, you have a block there.
This is stuff.
Hanging on by a thread there.
Hey. On is on. Get that out. Holy cow. Nothing. Is it dragging against anything there? No.
Yes, on that side, I think
Oh yeah, she's stuck. Go. I should really take those old motor mounts out. That's not helping me at all. Oh. Who stores their tools on the cowl of a car they're working on?
car's not a workbench.
Well, in my defense, this is a truck. A work truck. Shop truck. I'm gonna paint the door up. DD speech up. EST on whatever day. Win this truck. No, none of that's happening. Actually, I do want to do something on this truck, but I don't know what. Oh, brand new starter and a fuel pump on this thing. I don't know what we should put on this. I'd like to do
Ask the
something.
people.
No.
Holy.
No. You know, we got too many things around here. This little drop down and a little drop down to carry on. Nailed it. Okay. So, I said this is the little cross member, which looks like it'll be a lot of work to kind of screw around with. And I might actually even give it a little bit of strength if I just zip it like right down the... Now it's bolted there and there, just give it like a little gusseting action maybe. Yeah, oh, and that's where the brakes go. Oh yeah, I wonder how the transmission, the other cross member is gonna go. I got a generic white box one. Oh, it looks like I already ground it down a little in here. So that must be where I thought that must go. Oh, and that must be, yeah. So that's the e-brake lever and everything, I guess. Yeah, pretty nice little truck. Okay, well, I'm just gonna kind of cut this out, and then I think we should be good. I might just leave it there. I know we're not really accomplishing much tonight, but maybe we'll pull the other motor out. How motivated are you? Yes? Super motivated?
0.
100? Yeah, I don't blame you. Okay, I'll just blast that out, and then maybe I'll stare at it a little bit and contemplate my life and see where it wants to go.
You're gonna think about it?
Well, you know, I will say there's no instructions with these mounts. I was actually kind of disappointed with them. And of course, after the order's gonna show up from Speedway tomorrow, Speedway sells a whole kit for this. Which, why wouldn't we buy it? It was like $150. Anywho, we'll cobble it because that's what we're good at doing. Oh yeah, I did a lot of nice work with this actually.
Yes.
We still got just a little bit of patchwork to do down there, but pretty minimal. So we'll see what we can accomplish. All right, well I'll kind of...
Well, I thought you were about to put this down, like the thing's there.
Oh, the transmission. Yeah, I'll blow this off and then kind of see what we end up with. I'm ready to drive this thing, Daniel. Oh, I still gotta do this side too. Still lots of work to be done.
Do you remember what happened?
With?
This.
No.
Well, we were putting this in, and then you were having an issue with the mount, so then you just got super mad. You're like, I'm done with this thing, put it outside.
You wanna put it outside? Dan here, TD Speed Shop. So, this is a brand new video, right?
Well, we started it.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh.
We pulled the motor.
Oh, right.
Now you've put in a whole new motor because I was mowing the lawn.
So we financed a mower, and Danny was out mowing grass last night, which actually was kind of nice. It gave me some time to mess with putting this motor transmission in, which honestly, there's not a whole lot of filming. I guess I could have time-lapsed it, but basically, motor and transmission are in. Temporary, they're not 100% yet. Well, the motor is. I got my little brackets in there, so that's all in and buzzed in. I didn't bolt it, I welded it.
Why? People are confused about that.
Because I prefer welding than bolting. Got to drill holes and all that stuff. So basically, I put the motor in where I wanted it. I had it with the engine crane, and then I have it sitting on the slider jack or whatever. The transmission's held up by that, and that's where I wanted it. So I guess I could have gone a little further, but we had it so I can fit my hand behind the distributor, an HEI.
Wait, show us again.
Well, just kind of, it's not all the way in, but I probably got an inch before the firewall. So that's that. Everywhere I looked online, a lot of pictures that use these side mounts, it was like slightly behind the axle, which is kind of where we are. So that worked out pretty good. A lot of guys on forums and stuff were saying the balancer is going to be very close to the cross member in the front, which it is. We probably got, I don't know, half an inch or so, but again, it shouldn't go down or nothing like that. So that's all taken care of. And the situation you run into is that becomes very close there because the transmission is almost all the way up into the floor. So you could, in theory, raise the motor and everything, but then you'd have to kind of mess with the tunnel, which I didn't want to. So it worked out good. We have our angle finder on the motor here. And it's,
You keep pointing at things on other sides of the car so I can have to walk around.
sorry. So what I did is I put it on this plate. So it's,
my arms aren't long enough.
boom, it's zeroed out, which means, you can kind of see it though, but the motor is slanted back, right? So we have about a 3-degree slant back of the motor, but the intake manifold has a 3-degree or whatever it is kind of tilt up so the carburetor sits flat. So we have the correct angle of the dangle on this thing. So that's cool. The only other thing we got to do now is I got to put a transmission cross member in it. So I'm going to build that. I got one over here. I had kind of a universal one. It's not exactly what I want. Well, it's fine. What I actually need is one that is flat. This one has a little drop in it. So what we actually want is a bar that would run straight across here. So it wouldn't have this kind of drop in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip off a section here, and we'll leave kind of a half moon. I'm going to weld a, what way am I going to do it? Yeah, I think it'll be that way. I think it's going to be on the bottom up. I don't know if it'll be a top down because the frame's going to be here. So it's going to sit either like that, but I think it's actually going to sit underneath is what's going to happen. So I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to weld a plate on it, and I'll just drill a couple holes, and then that'll bolt to the bottom of the frame. So it'll be removable, and that'll be fine. So that's kind of the plan for that. Actually, the Speedway order showed up, which has all sorts of stuff. So we're going to have brakes. We're going to have the rear suspension kit. I ordered a Speedway universal harness, like a wiring harness. I got, I think, kingpins and stuff like that. So we should actually really be able to put this thing together. It's gonna be pretty awesome. So I'd like to get that taken care of. I think I might just do a little bit of rust repair in here while we're at it, because it needs a little bit of love like that. And then once this is done, then we can literally put the front clip on and everything kind of El Permanente, which would be really nice. And then we can just double check for like a radiator clearance and all that sort of stuff. And then we got to find some wheels. I think those Krager's might look good on this for now. Actually, I meant to show you a picture. I found a guy on the internet and he had, wait for it, black Steelies. They look so good.
I don't think you're gonna like what I am gonna suggest.
Danielle in the back, yes.
White walls.
Look at that though. Doesn't that look good?
It doesn't not look good.
I have wheels like that in the back of your truck. I mean, we don't put a lot of steel wheels on most things, so that maybe we'd step outside the box and do that on this one. We can do white wall tires, but they're expensive, so you're buying them.
Oh, never
Or,
mind, I don't want them.
I wonder, has anyone ever done white walls on Krager's? Is that a thing? What we could do is not, we put those porta walls on. I put those on the 47, you know? They just kind of fit in, so they're a little goofy, but from a distance they look okay. Krager's, and that might look okay. Or we can do Steelies with that. Well, we got to put together the car.
I think I want the Kragers.
With, yeah, so we got to
Either
get.
way, the Kragers for sure, not the Steelies.
Yeah, so we can figure that out. I think the diff we're going to put in is the exact same width as this, so we can put a pretty wide tire out back.
Let's get meaty.
Meaty. Yeah, for someone who's not paying the bills, let's get meaty. So we can do that, because we're going to put that 12 bolt in, I'm pretty sure. That'll be a pretty slick unit. And then really, like, this thing is, it's going to come together in a hurry. I don't know why I was kind of being lazy on it. Doesn't sound like me at all. But anyways, I'm going to get under here. Danny's going to go have a little nap. She had a rough day. She went for 2 walks.
I was up since 3. I don't know why.
But, yeah, we'll put this thing up in the air, and I'll get set. Maybe we'll do a little bit of trimming and kind of just, I'll show what I'm going to do. We'll time lapse it and then call it a day, because at this point the motor trans are in it permanent. And then I might just do that thing on my own. The side metal, it's pretty boring in between the next video. Well, Danny napskis. So this is basically what I want to do. As you see, it's hitting there. If I go in top here, it gets in the way of the e-brake cable and whatnot, so I don't really want to do that because we have to go further ahead. So basically we'll put this in here, we'll measure whatever this distance is, we'll take that much meat out of this, we'll center it up a little bit there, and then I have a little piece of plate Anyway, you haven't sneezed all day. I had this little bar just to kind of show it's almost, I mean, like we're an inch or whatever down type thing. The transmission could go up just a hair if we wanted to. I think it's got 3.5 degrees down, but it gives us room all around. It's like it's a little tight right there, but all around here is good. It's not gonna hit anything. It's got this flat floor. We don't gotta mess with anything, which I really wanna do. And then if we keep everything mounted down here, not that it really makes a difference, but this is where the brake system is, and we're gonna end up putting on the exact same deal. And I believe it's gonna go backwards a little bit more, I think. So just to keep this area kind of cleaned up is the plan. And otherwise, I think back here, actually I got a little rust repair to do on the side of the frame. It got some junk in there. So we gotta do that coming up as well, but the bed's got to come off again. But yeah, actually everything I think should work out because all the e-brake stuff is still complete. We could probably modify some of this stuff to work on the other diff. This thing's super simple and easy to work on, which I'm kind of liking. I was struggling a little bit getting the motor dialed together, but once I just kind of started jamming yesterday, it worked out pretty cherry. And I believe, is there a tape measure here? I had it all centered. I guess I should just maybe double check that. But before we go too much further, gotta move over just a hair, but it's pretty close. However, I measured it before. So I'll have to mess with that too. I just slide it over. It's got a bunch of weight on it. Okay. Well, let's start fabricating and see what we end up with. Either I went the wrong way or I went too much. But it's definitely one or the other. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now let's, do I have a marker here? Maybe I just mark it to hold it, or just so I don't forget where it is. We'll double check it again before we go too crazy, but let's see. So we have an eyeball mark to it. So that's cool.
Should you mark that while we're here with the chalk?
Mark what?
This.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. So we'll kind of eyeball, that's about where that wants to be. So where's the tape measure? Oh, buggered it. Actually, if these are long enough, we can just bolt it right in there. Oh, so close, but so far, Danielle. If only I had some longer hardware. Oh, the washer off, can we get one thread? Negative, but we're pretty close, maybe. No. Oh, perfect. So it kind of holds it there about where we want. So let's just go ahead. So that's centered on that, which gives us 1 inch. Ooh, it's definitely, is this out to lunch or what? Oh, maybe it's, I see. Ouch. 1 1/4. 1 1/4. Okay, so we'll do that. We're gonna chop 1 1/4 inches off each side by, what is this? Let's say that's 3/4. So go 3/4 down, 1 1/4 over. Let's just write that. 1 1/4, and what I say? 3/4 down. So we're gonna slice it like that. I'll probably go a little bit more. I might just go, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go a full inch down because I'm gonna plate it on top. Okay, let's mess this up. Perfect. Okay, so now I've got to go ahead and make some little standoff for it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to use this and basically do something along those lines. We'll drill 2 holes, bolt it up that way.
We've been here the whole time.
Well then,
And he didn't say a word to us.
that was kind of nice. So that's pretty well good. So we got a little bit of space there. Now we're just gonna go ahead, slip that in.
Oh man, that is cherry.
Slip this in. So that's where this thing wants to live-ish.
Why are you gonna bolt it instead of weld it?
Because if you ever want to take it out, you have to, you have to take the crossmember out. So if the transmission or the motor wants, it's so tight, so you undo these 2 bolts, you undo these bolts, the whole thing's out of the way, and it'll fall out. So, we'll just kind of do whatever we want to do. Might have cut this at a bit of a funny angle, but weld will fix that, and this one I kind of messed it up a little bit as well, but whatever. Actually, how wide is that? Because we got to make a piece to fit in there. That's 1.5 inches, and that's almost 1.5 inches. So if we move this over just a scotch, we'll be able to slip another bar in there.
You need another bar?
Well, because we had to cut this one double wide, so I'm going to weld this in to hold it, and then we'll just plate that in, and we might even plate this as well while it's out, you know what I mean? Just for some strength.
Sure.
Sure. We got 1 inch, we got 1 inch.
the people are impressed that you're using a measuring tape.
Almost using it the right way. Okay, so that is where that's gonna live. Let's burn it together and then we can take it out, finish it on the bench. So here's a little piece, just kind of, well, a little tab on it, crooked, hold her all up, she good. So now we should be able to put this in. Get that started. And this guy. And then I put 4 holes. There really is a little excessive. I'm sure 1 on each side would have been just fine, but let's get that kind of close. And then what do we got? What do we got? 1, 2. These bolts are too long. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some washers. Oh, these are kind of goofy washers. Okie doke. What way I should try and put these in? This is going to hit. Hopefully I didn't mess this up when I put it together. I didn't do any calculations.
But we saw you with the measuring tape.
Just a little catty-womp. Is there a hammer here? Unos.
The other one fell on the ground by your foot.
Yeah, that'll happen. Oh, that one fit, man. Okay, so we got that and that. This and this. I don't know if I have a socket for this guy. 1, 2. So that's all she's gonna be. Bolt her in, just like, well, just like how it is, I guess. This side's a bit of a pain. Ouch, ouch. Do I have a hammer on this side? This one might need a real hammer. She's going. I need a socket. Do I have it out?
Do you have it out? Yes. Do you know where it is? Another story.
Hey, we could play the blame game all day long. Now this guy here. Might need to be drilled out. Just a scotch more. Maybe not. Okay, so we got her all bolted in. So we're like 16 and 2 ticks under 17. 2 ticks under 17. I say that's straight enough for the people I'm trying to impress. Don't fall on my face. Oh, I got the lock on. Stupid safety.
That looks really good.
You wanna duck and I'll push this back? So yeah, there we have it. That's all in. Welded that all in. Oh yeah, pretty decent. Oh, that's a pretty good weld right there, actually, that one. Maybe just show that one, that's all that really matters. And yeah, hopefully, the kit just showed up today. I don't know what it is, but there's a brake booster that kind of fits here. I'm assuming, I'm hoping it's gonna fit with the existing e-brake stuff. Yeah, like a transmission crossmember and all that, but we can cross that bridge when we get there. Otherwise, I can fit my fingers. It's tight, but it's not gonna touch nothing. So that's cool. There's actually a lot of room on here. Oh yeah, I forgot to finish welding all this. Forgot about that. All kinds of room in here, but I think The only other thing I want to do is I want to put a set of headers on this thing. I have 2 sets. I got that one. I got those fancy stainless ones. I don't know if I'll put those on there, or some ones I got from John Cecil. So maybe I'll just try and see what fits right quick. Because as long like this, I was easy. Remember that was a nightmare because of the steering box. So I just want to make sure it fits, which I think will be okay. Center dump kind of shorties. But if that's the case, then we're set. So let's get this junk out of here and put some headers on. So I got those off of John Cecil, actually. I was last in Manitoba. I believe they're like C4 Corvette or something like that, maybe? What's going on here? So I don't have the right length bolts, but what's kind of cool about these versus regular headers is they have these standoffs, which allows you to use regular bolts and washers. So you're not screwing around with those header bolts, which is
convenient.
The bane of my existence. So if we can use these, I think we'd be ahead, but I don't know if they will fit. Oh yeah, I think that should be good. Hey?
That's mint!
So they fit. Cute. I need to grab another bolt there. Yeah, you.
Got any more?
Yeah, you. Yeah, so that actually fits. Like, couldn't be
That's awesome.
a better fit, honestly. And so we gotta get some longer hardware tomorrow, maybe. But the nice thing about these two.
After puppy yoga.
Oh yeah, we're going to do golden retriever puppy yoga. Are we telling people we're getting a dog yet?
No, by the time this video comes out, she'll be like another month older.
This looks like it must have had some sort of like air injection thing, and people have welded up at some point.
What would the air injection do?
Yeah, BS emissions. But this should fit on this side too. We'll just double check. But yeah, like I said, it has these big shoulders, so you can run a regular 3/8 bolt, which is super handy, not screwing around. And then the bottom is ball and socket, so we can kind of point the collector wherever way we want. So that makes me happy. You want to just maybe see?
Our easiest headers to date.
Well, we're only one in, and now we're totally jinxed.
I don't think so. The driver's side is always the hardest.
Is it?
Factoid.
Factoid. Ugh. You know, the only thing I didn't do very well, I guess, when I did some measuring, the front might be slightly higher than the back. So it might throw up my angle just a skosh. I saw that right now, but you know what? If we ever want to tilt the motor more, we have lots of room for the distributor, and we can get more room there. We just stack some washers under there, and it'll be just fine. Yeah. Those will fit good. Look how much room you have around the spark plugs and everything.
That's crazy.
It's actually quite nice. So we have that. I'm thinking I'll run these. I don't know if I put them outside or not already, but I had some gold valve covers I got off John Cecil. And then I don't have an intake manifold, I don't think, for this. We have just this cast one. But I do have a tunnel ram, single carb tunnel ram. And then I have a 650 double pumper brawler.
Isn't this just supposed to be like a cool casual cruiser for me?
Yeah, but it has to look cool and ridiculous. Just all these fancy parts on a junk motor. But here's the thing, we're gonna be, so this thing's already got a gnarly motor in it. Monty's got a gnarly motor in it. I guess might as well use these parts on this and then carry on. So that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna fix the other side door, lower door section like I did here. Because that actually worked out pretty good. It's pretty easy. It'll be an after supper by myself thing. And then we'll start the next video. I think we should be able to like put the fenders on properly, like bolt them all on, inner fenders in, cradle in, like all that stuff. Because at this point, it shouldn't have to come off. We have to do the eyebrows because they're rotted, but I got those patch kits, so I can do that as well. But then we can start measuring for radiator or what we got to do there. Start screwing around with exhaust. I mean, all sorts of little stuff like that. But yeah, this is tight. But you know what? I mean, I fit my finger in there. What is this? Still says. Oh, yeah, so we're right on 0-ish. We might just have to stack a washer or two in there, but I think we're pretty much set. Oh, I'm excited. Like I said, we'll do that. Front clip on, next video. After that, box off, which would be a hassle. Should we crane it off or what we got to do there? But then we can put, I bought a fancy 4-link from Speedway. We can 4-link it. It's a bolt-in 4-link. I'm actually really excited about it. I think it's going to be a slick kit. And then, like I said, that 12 bolt, slide that in there. I think we could use the rear end from the Nomad too, but I kind of feel like the 12 bolt might be the way to go. Just simple stuff. And then if we do fall in love with this truck, which I think we might, I mean, the rear end can be rebuilt. It's a small block with a turbo 350. Like we could just upgrade, like John says, we could make a small block. They have that yellow one that dropped off from the 57. So if we fall in love with this thing and want like a brand new motor, they could go through that one. You know, transmission, I got a few of them, we can get one rebuilt. And then same thing, the the gear center guys, wherever, could put whatever we want in there. And then we'd have like a rebuilt drive line. And then it'll have new brakes in the back, disc brakes up front, a Speedway brand new wiring harness. Like, this is a simple truck. It'll be just rock solid to roll down the road. So we'll leave it there. We'll come back after supper when I'm 100% refreshed and in a fantastic mood. And that'll all be done. Then we can start putting this thing together. I really like the way this truck looks. So I'm excited to kind of, I know we kind of cobbled it together just so it went side by side, it looked like something. But I'm actually really excited to like put it together and start making progress forward. I feel like it's been at a bit of a standstill for a while. I know a lot of people have been asking about this thing. So it'll be really exciting actually to put it together properly. I'm very excited about doing it. We'll see you on the next one.